Gen.G starting off in the green, MV in the white. A lot of Gen.G Light 6 in the crowd as well. A lot of fans coming back here from new and old fans, of course. Like you said, there's a lot of returning Apex players on the Gen.G lineup. Glister, let's talk about him just a little bit more, Harry. You said before, his Doomfist is it's pretty incredible. I'd say definitely it's on line with Sparkle at times, for sure. When Sparkle, of course, they were playing like this Doomfist Goats composition. It looked obviously a little bit better as most teams weren't running that, but as soon as Doomfist kind of came into meta, obviously you're going to be sitting there practicing them time and time again, and Glister's definitely been just a standout performer on the hero so far.
And to hit back at the idea of our scouts as well, Glister does turn 18 in January, Jaws, so he will be eligible for the 2020 season of Overwatch League. Looks like we do have a pause related to Numlock's mouse. Of course, it's good we caught this early rather than it affecting the first fight, which can often be so important in these control maps, Jaws. And it can often very much weigh on your mind if you have a technical issue deal. A killing blow to you sometimes on a control stage.
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was just because his mouse was just too bright. Have to turn
he's turned the RGB up too far.
You have to turn that pink colour down. It's very fluorescent. It's like the only thing that's visible in that booth. Their black jerseys do blend quite well into the desks. Just sim teleport out, not too much of a surprise. Same old comps as well. Glister versus Jaru on the Doom, because Jaru was an absolute monster before. He said, yeah, I'm just the best Doom. I just know what's good.
Well, that's both of our Doomfists do think that. Like we say, Glister also thinks he's the best Doomfist in the world. He's not even worried about Sparkle moving in, despite the reputation. There's the mutual stun, but it's in the midst of Gen.G.
Disastrous. Still Sparkle was like, wait, there's a Doomfist down?
I'm out.
Well, I'm out. Yeah, you're going to go down with it. Numlock is going to fall victim as well to Glister's Doomfist. Should be a quite quick rotation here from Team Envy if they want to get out ASAP. Problem is, when you have to deal with the Doomfist as well, just the resetting of cooldowns, you're going to get chased out. Bit of extra ult charge went over to Glister, and Creative's going to have this Coalescence. Same with Crimzo for this next fight. Yeah, it's going to be a duel of the Coalescences. What will they be able to get is the question. Maybe you would invest after your Doomfist makes his engagement, so that the other Doomfist is a little bit more focused on trying to counter-punch your Doomfist, less chance to get that interrupted. And of course, it does mean you can hang back at a rather safe area. Still got to watch out though, because you can be caught by a flanking Reaper. Already Numlock's going extremely low, just gets punched out. That Coalescence was healing him up quite nicely, but the fist into the wall without a fortify, yeah, you're pretty much as good as dead. Glister again, just gets booted up to the air, and he uses it to his advantage too, gets more damage on the seismic slam, gets taken out by Jaru, but the rest of Envy are going to go back to spawn once again. Sometimes when you try and turn down Glister, you just turn him up to 11. There's a look at the cold hard killer's eyes. We are going to see Gen.G now ready. Once again with a Coalescence, a lot of healing done over the course of that fight, and they've got both of their offensive ultimates ready as well, Jaws. We're going to have to see Glister try and make himself play very aggressively here. He wants to bait out something from Jaru, he wants to bait out these answers to his engagement so that there's very little to interrupt Stalker with his Death Blossom. Bait out the accretion, bait out the punch. Going to go in once again. Glister this time has got the ultimate to back him up. He is going to go in. He gets shielded off for the most part, but look at the ultimates available for Gen.G. Supercharge is going to fall down as well. And Stalker, oh, in the back. No one saw it coming. Like you said, bait them all out, bait that grasp out, bait the shields out. You hit that Q, you got damage boost. Easy quadra kill. Thank you very much. I feel like that Sarri is going to be the round over. 90% already for Gen.G, and they still got ults. They're making an early engage as well. They're not letting them move forward. You got to go to the point, my son. Jaru's got Meteor Strike. He's going to be able to hit the top of the roof. But Happy Ball's going to go down already. The Coalescence is going to come out, but someone has to touch. There's at least one member on the point. Hey, it's going to be Sharp, but unfortunately, my friend, the rest of your team are dead. Fire is here, and he does have the beat. Can he make this work? Bliss is going to follow up with a beat of his own. An easy kill for the Lucio. And now it's only Fire to dance around the point, stalling out for more time. But this should be it. OT's going to tick through, and Gen.G are going to take the first map of Busan. Well, we heard what Glister said. I am the best Doomfist in the world right now. He's making a very good case of that. Not only that, he's making so much space for Stalker. You can tell how crisp and clear the comms are right now for Gen.G, Jaws. They knew the accretion was gone. They knew there was no punch cancel available. They knew that there was no kinetic grasp available, so you could just go in, spin around, get a 4K with a Death Blossom in a double shield better. How does that even work? Not sure how they managed to make it happen, but Gen.G tracking those cooldowns was what made that a potential play. We're now moving over to Mecha Base. I wouldn't expect to see any variation in the composition here.
you'll always be seeing the Reaper and the Doomfist. It's always been a close quarter favoured stage when it comes to Busan, and everyone's going to teleport out. We'll have to see if Team Envy have learned anything of Gen.G's playstyle to try and counter the aggression that Glister and Stalker have right here. It seems like maybe they need to vary up their cooldown usage, but you still got to check Glister. Wow.
You can't check
Never
that.
mind.
Yeah. Crimson got checked against that wall. Wasn't too comfortable. Pieced out and still about to spawn already. Gen.G again winning this initial fight, just chasing them all the way back to their spawn doors. Always going to unlock. Easy cap for them, and I got to say, especially with Crimson going down that early, Creative's only got like a 30% lead on the ult charge, but still it's quite significant considering Moira ult charge and how quickly it does build.
And does. You have to see if there will be any formation changes here from Envy to make sure there's more chance to body block those punches with the tanks. Glister sees the squishy support is going in for everyone though.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, those supports, they're dancing around the sidelines, not too much to help them. Both coalescences coming out. Charge percent didn't actually matter at the end of it all, but Glister's going to commit almost his whole self onto Crimzo, but doesn't find anything. Stalker, on the other hand, maybe forced to use that Wraith Walk there, and is actually assassinated by fire. And now we're on board with Jaru, trying to get some punches into the walls. Those walls coming up around the point as well can just serve as such good backboards for the Doomfist. Jaru sends himself flying in, Oberon goes down, and this should be the first cap for Envy on Busan.
Great job there by Fire as well. The second that Jaru was dueling with Glister, and they knew Glister had no escapes. Fire booked him in, he got halted as well, not managed to finish him off with the Orisa fusion driver. They controlled his movement so he didn't have the freedom he previously had. And now Team Envy, having got their first cap of this control, are in the position to try and play this defensively. And obviously, that's exactly where you want to be when you control these engagements. That's what this meta's all about, controlling who engages first.
That's a lot of cooldowns used by Jaru. Of course, to pop the ult, Glister's going to do the same thing and just detonate Crimzo. Rogue's going to fly in as well, just stop the tanks from doing all of anything. That micro stun could be just so frustrating to deal with. And now Numlock's kind of alone on the point, fighting against Huyal, who has got a billion health right now as the beat did come through as well. Fire is a little bit low, he's getting assassinated in the back, trying to escort Sharp forward, but Sharp in himself actually just got pushed back. There was not much he could do there at all. He had to deal with the shields too, he was trying to push himself forward, but got booped. And everything in the world was used there to stop him from getting that big Death Blossom off. Gen.G recapped the point at 47%.
And Gen.G there, they focused on the tanks, Jaws. They made sure there was no way Team Member could be staying on the point, even when they invested all of these ultimates. They got 2 tank ultimates to try and push through here, but Havoc needs a good line of sight and potentially to get the Fortify out first.
That
what a
beautiful hold coalescence is going to come through. Supercharger instantly destroyed by Creativity, uses his own coal. However, now no beats are available, so they instantly go for that flux again. Another hold in isn't quite used as well as they thought it did. They saw him get halted in. Jaru kind of made a play up to the front, got knocked for 6s as Glister forced him into the wall. And Gen.G are really now on one fight territory, Harry. It's going to take ages for Envy to set back up. 80% to 46.
They can take the first map in this next fight, Jaws, and they've got the supercharge to do it. Team Envy, they have no tools available. Crimzo, over the course of this fight, he can get himself that coalescence. That's what he needs. He needs to use it to destroy Oberon's supercharge, but he won't have it in time, especially with this early engagement and hold.
Look at this. Supercharger going down for Oberon. Glister could do whatever he so chooses. Use that Meteor Strike. Doesn't get too much damage down, but forces people to rotate to the point to trigger OT.
Crimzo used Fade. He's going to be very vulnerable now. You can see Stalker going right in for him.
That coalescence on the other side. I thought it was enough to heal the tanks in the back, and I think Envy thought the same. Gen.G forced everybody off. OT ticked down, and they claimed the first map 2-0.
I think Wuyao there actually just cancelled the coalescence with an accretion from long range as well. It was potentially a Doomfist punch, but I'm pretty sure Glister was dealing with the rest of Envy. Gen.G looking dominant on our control map, getting the first cap both times. Evidently a very good proposition when you're playing on control. We'll have to see if on our other maps Envy will be able to do a little bit more. But we've talked about how these Korean teams, they often take a little bit longer to warm up. They need the coaches to come in and have done the analysis of what's happening. You can see Chu, he's in the Envy booth at the moment. What will he have figured out about Gen.G's playstyle? What do they need to do to try and counter out this hyper-aggression and this great cooldown management and this great cooldown calling that this team is bringing to the fore? It feels like right now, the Oberon is inassailable. Wuyao's being so good behind him.
They did change their mantra from every fight is winnable to try and survive. Not quite surviving against this as Doomfist just yet, but we'll have to see what happens in map number 2 coming up soon.
안녕하세요. 저희는 Gen.G 오버워치 컨텐더스 팀입니다. 저희 Gen.G는 한국 최고의 시설과 환경에서 건틀렛을 준비하고 있습니다. 이번 건틀렛에서는 좀 예상치 못한 전력으로 나오도록 하겠습니다. 기대해주세요.
MB versus Gen.G is the match you are currently watching. Gen.G one map up against MB, 2-0 on Hussein was the scoreline as well. Coming out dominating, what a surprise. Glisters, Doomfist, just inching out over Jarrus.
Yeah, Gen.G looking incredibly good today, and there are loads of fans in the studio for them as well, George. You can tell how well connected this team is with the city of Seoul. They are the academy team of Seoul Dynasty. We've got a training center right here in the city. It's top notch, you just saw it in the video. And of course, being really good also helps when it comes to getting some fans. And now it's MB's turn to pick our hybrid map.
They do. Kings Row, favourite of most Overwatch players. I don't know a single person that does not like Kings Row. Myself included. I love the map. It's one of my favourites, I think.
Maybe people are defending second point in this meta.
Yeah, well, no one likes doing that. Second point is just, it's so a top and bottom heavy. There's like nothing in between at all. It feels like, oh, one fight. Well, you now completed second. Like,
yeah, it's just in the middle section. The geometry is so good for an attacking Doomfist. There's not really any point investing in a fight in the middle, otherwise you're going to be very easily picked off by a Doomfist who has the initiative.
Kings Row is there. Gen.G, can they go 2-0 up? MV need to bite back. Team MV can decide to start on the offense this time. It'll be Gen.G on the defense. Now, what we like to really see here from Team MV to kind of rally back into this, because we talked earlier on about how Sharp, kind of a monster, both on LAN and on online as well, just steps it up a notch when he's offline, but currently just feels non-existent, to be honest, against Stalker. I mean, Stalker, yeah, we did see like a big play from him, you know, a big death bottom, yeah, it was 4K, right? But that was when like a lot of cooldowns were like either baited out or there was no ults to really deal with that. No Lucio available either. I mean, does Sharp really exist currently? And I gotta say, the answer right now is no. It just feels like Stalker is kind of silencing it.
Yeah, I feel like they could be sort of equally maybe effective Jaws if Team Envy's coordination was just a little bit better. Gen.G, they just have their DPS in concert. Glister, whenever he takes a huge amount of attention, is taken advantage of by Stalker. He gets into the backline. Team Envy going to roll out with something a little bit different. Now got a Sharp on the Doomfist. Not going to be playing very Reaper anymore because Jaru is here on the foul.
Yeah, something that we talked to again a little bit earlier on. We were saying like, yeah, we want to see Jaru's fire, we want to see it. Kings Row, definitely a map to do it on, especially first point, but not when Huyal just smacks him with a rock out of the air. That is how you counter a fire in this comp.
Yeah, you got no long range, that's okay, you got a rock and you got a halt, everything's going to be absolutely fine. Now we're trying to chase Envy into this small room. This could be disastrous.
Oh yeah, absolutely nothing you could do. A Doomfist and a Reaper in this close space? Yeah, it's not happening. Let's have a look at this rock again. Straight out of the air. It's like clay pigeon shooting. He's going to get a nice little bit of ult charge to that as well, but Mr. actually ends up going down. Damage, boosted body shot, and he's going to fall. Envy now with a man advantage.
Shara doing a good job there, preempting the seismic slam, knew exactly where it was going to go, so you can get an easy damage boosted direct rocket. Crimzo now has the advantage to move forward with this coalescence. The question is, where's Creative going to put his energy? Is he going to try and burn fire and Jaru out of the sky using this, or will he concentrate on the ground war?
Look at that massive ult as well. Jaru's getting so much damage off, but Sharp actually ends up going down. Now available is the Doomfist. Giga managed to get back in time before Envy were able to pull the trigger. Numlock's also going to get jumped on. Stalker walks towards him. This over-aggression, or just not even over-aggression, just this pure animalistic energy from Gen.G. They're running down Envy currently. They had a man advantage going into that fight, and Glister got back in time. Yes, Doomfist is quick, but you have to act faster than that. Yeah, and it's very difficult to get into the backline of Gen.G. Just because we've talked about Oberon's just this iron wall. It's so hard. I don't think they will have killed him effectively yet in this series. Jaru, he has this barrage ready to go. Where's he going to put it? He's got to worry about Wuyol and that kinetic grasp, the replaceable shield. Bliss needs to be his primary target here. Get rid of the potential sound barrier, then you can use your other ultimates. Again, Jaru gets picked out of the air. You'd think Fire is almost the perfect hero to deal with this kind of composition, right? Because the poke damage from range is kind of bad. Not apparently when you're Gen.G. At this point, Jaru needs to be saving his concussive blast to get away from halts when they are placed towards him. He doesn't have that, and that means that Oberon is always going to be investing it. This time, Jaru avoids the concussion. Both coalescences coming out too. A lot of ultimates online for Gen.G. They end up breaking the beat down fairly early. Hafikool is so close to this ultimate now. This could be their win con. Sharp gets pushed off the high ground as Jaru goes down once more. Fluxion's going to come through, sending a couple people high in the sky. One person will end up dodging out the way. Crimzo nets himself to safety, ends up using that shift. But now, look at this. Again, aggression from Gen.G as they push forward, just making sure Glister has the time and space to move around and do what he does best. Jaru barrages, but ends up going down to Bliss. Of all people, Bliss ends up coming up with a double kill, both DPS dead. And Team Envy, they look like they're going to get hold on first. Jaru taken out too early in that fight. Jules, he held that barrage for about a minute and a half, and when he actually did it, he was so low to the ground that Wuyol could jump with a kinetic grasp, and he ate every single rocket. You need to be positioning better for this ultimate. He has to get off of that hero now. They're on the opposite heroes they usually would. It's Sharp on the Doomfist still, because they can't give up that charge. Surprise, surprise, gets to jump straight in. He's got, oh no, the Meteor Strike as well. Just kind of scared there. I didn't think he'd make it out in time. Coalescence being used by Crimzo. It's going to run out though rather quickly, and Kratos is going to have to force to use his. Gen.G going so low, but they're still somehow managing to survive. Sharp's up in the Meteor Strike as well. It's going to have to play this one perfectly as OT is about to count down. Envy's now having to back off from Stalker, who's just dashing straight forward. Again and again and again. Numlocked is just thrown away like a chewed dog toy. Gen.G now to defend for another 3 seconds. Sharps maybe are going to be able to get back, but I don't think so. Spawns up, gets stunned, and would you look at that? Gen.G smiles across the board as they full hold Kings Row. Wuyol's having a laugh, mate. He just solo fluxed Hafikool. Just trying to be the Alpha Sigma right here. He's having a real good time in this particular play. I can't believe that Jaru went for that barrage at such a shallow angle, to be honest. Like,
you can just jump right in front of it. That's not going to get you anywhere, especially when you're doing it on both of the tanks. You need to find a slightly squishier target, because when you do it on the tanks, they're going to have reaction time to at least put something between themselves and you. Just the health pool is too large to get those immediate kills, especially if you're going into an already placed Orisa barrier.
Team Envy have a mountain to climb now. And the only hope, of course, is going to be a draw as well. A full hold from Gen.G. Scariest team, they said. Surprise, surprise. There's going to be a lot of 3 Overwatch, it feels like today, but Team Envy aren't out of this just yet. They are back on their normal heroes. Gyro's no longer on the Reaper. He's going to be on the Doomfist. Sharp on the Reaper instead.
Team Envy do have the advantage that Sharp and Gyro are flexible enough that they can run the Doomfist and the Pharah, because their projectile obviously flex over the Pharah, and Sharp's still a really good Doomfist. But it does mean that they are, if they're forced off that comp, in an unenviable position where they don't get back to their usual calling structure of how these guys are going to handle their cooldowns, how they're going to handle their positional rotations. Glister's going to look for an early headshot here. Crimzo can't afford to peek out. We've seen this happen too many times. KSP made it happen last time against Talon, I believe. See if he finds anyone.
No one's going to jump this time around. Quick switch over to Doomfist. They only really need to win one fight here. That is going to be it. One big pick will be enough. A lot of shield pressure. Does mean Envy are going to have to back off around this corner. They're all still so low. Glister was waiting in the wings, go straight in with the punch. Managed to get out alive as well, but baiting a lot of cooldowns. Very aggressive walk in as well from Gyro, but Sharp's actually the one that's going to be caught off guard. Glister's in the back line. You do not want to be there, my friend, but it doesn't matter because they've already ran over Numlock carry.
Numlock once again is the one falling instead of Oberon. Look at how he's playing this corner, it's so hard.
This might just be it. They need to touch the point. It's like a fraction of a second away from being capped. Everybody on Team Envy has to touch right now. Coalescence coming through as well. Miracle plays from Gyro, but he tries to go in. The disengage wasn't enough. Team Envy go down and 2-0 in this series. This is looking like a speed run.
The initial disengage draws, it gave up so much of that point they were forced to touch just to stop it from completing, and after that, no one could get off the point. They tried to disengage just to get a more favorable angle on the enemy, trying to get around Oberon in his iron wall, but they just couldn't, because the second they stepped off just takes up that 0.1%, and they get the cap. Gen.G heading into half-time here, incredibly pleased with themselves, and why not? They're just going up against the second best team in their group. The second best team coming out of North America, who came in with 4 seeds to the Gauntlet. And they are looking absolutely unstoppable.
Regardless of how insane Sharp is on LAN as well, the question was before, is this a good meta for him? He can't play this hit scan role that he likes. Tracer, Widowmaker, McCree, whatever. He's stuck on this Reaper role. Maybe that is their issue right now. They're not facilitating Sharp, or just Sharp can't get things done because the playstyle is just so different. Of course, we'll have to wait and see if this is going to be another 3 Overwatch. Gen.G versus MV. Map number 3 coming up soon.